Parshas Tzav Shlishi Vayikra Perek Zayin Pasuk Yidal. V'zeh Teir Zebach Hashlom, and this is the laws of the peace offerings Asher Yekar V'Hashem, which he shall bring to Hashem. Imal Teir Yakri, if he's bringing the peace offering as a carbon Teida, V'yikra V'Zebach Teida, you shall offer along with the Thanksgiving offerings. What shall you offer? Matzis, Chalis, Matzis, Blues, Bashem, unleavened loaf mixed with oil, or kicking matzahs with shuk Bashem, unleavened wafers anointed with oil, V'sedes Merveches, Chalis, Belul, Bashem, and scalded flour mixed with oil. Rashi says, Imal Teder Keveno, what does that mean? Imal Dvar Heida, Amneh Shenasabay, if he's bringing the carbon Teida to give thanks to Hashem on a miracle that happened to him. Which miracle could gain? For example, Yadar Hayom, if he was traveling on a voyage, for Holchim Boris, he was going in the desert, or locked in prison, Tilish Nisrap, or someone who was sick and recovered, they have to give thanks to Hashem. In place of the other Ziv, as the Pasuk says clearly, they shall give thanks to Hashem for his kindness and for his wonders, the children of men. And what should he do? They shall slaughter sacrifices of thanksgiving. If on account of one of these, one vow to bring these karbanis, they are Shalmei Teida, they need to have bread accompanied with it. It's only eaten day and night. There are 4 types of bread. Which ones? Loaves, wafers, scalded loaves. Matzah, which are 3 types of matzah. White leavened loaves. And each kind consists of 10 loaves. And it's this amount, Shehain, which are Midbaris, bread made from dough that is thoroughly scalded by boiling water. Along with loaves with leavened bread. Yaakov Karbonah, you shall bring this carbon, along with the Thanksgiving peace offering. So Rashi says, Yaakov Karbonah al-Zevach, Magach and Lechem Kodesh Klish Saguf. This teaches us that the bread is not Klish Saguf. The Pasuk B'yitzet Tful Yem, and what's this, the Cholim Pidyon, the bread does not acquire an intrinsic holiness if taken out, if it comes into contact with the Tful Yem, etc., until the Thanksgiving peace offering is slaughtered. And he shall bring from it out of each offering truma for Hashem. The kohen who dashes the blood of the peace offering shall be his. Each loaf out of his kind he shall take these as a truma. The rest is eaten, the owners eat it. And they get everything except the breast and the thigh, as explained over there. And the Tate is called Korban Shlomim. Tesvav, and the flesh of the Thanksgiving peace offering shall be eaten on the day it is offered up. You shall not leave any of it offered until the morning. The Rashi says, to add all these type of karbanis that are eaten only for one day and one night. Because Mamsar is Man Lachma, and the time limit for eating its flesh was the time of its bread. You should not leave it over until the morning. But you can eat it the entire night. Why does it say to Chatzis? To distance a person from Avir. But if a sacrifice is a vow of honor to the donation, on the day he offers up his sacrifice, it shall be eaten. And the next day, whatever is left over, it may be eaten. They did not bring it to give thanks giving for a miracle. And it may be eaten for 2 days, as is delineated in this section. On the first day, it may be eaten. However, what is left on the flesh on the 3rd day, Ba'isha has to be burned. And if any of the flesh of the peace offering is to be eaten on the 3rd day, it shall not be accepted. It shall not count for one who offers it. Rather, it shall be rejected, and the person who eats it shall bear his sins. Terry is referring to someone who, at the time of slaughtering the sacrifice, intends to eat it on the third day. You would think, however, that the Torah means that the korban does not become invalid because of intention, but if he eats on the third day, it would become invalid. That's what the Torah says. What does that mean? It's only possible at the time, only at the time of korbanos, not on the third day. Even while normally permitting time. The flesh that touches anything unclean shall not be eaten. But it shall be burned in fire. But regarding the flesh, anyone who is clean may eat the flesh. Touches anything unclean shall not be eaten. This comes to include a limb which went outside. That the inner part is permitted. Since the Torah says, and the blood of the sacrifice shall be poured, and you shall eat the meat. One would think that only the owner may eat the peace offerings, therefore that's what the Torah says. Anyone who is clean may eat the flesh. This means all that I have forbidden you regarding a sin offering and a guilt offering. Namely, that if they go outside the hangings of the courtyard, they become permitted. As it says, they shall eat it in the courtyard. Which means anyone who is clean may eat the flesh even outside the Chatzar throughout the entire city of Yerushalayim. A person who eats the flesh of the peace offerings of Hashem, whose uncleanliness is upon him, the soul shall be cut off by his people. So Rashi, they're speaking about a person who has Tumas Aguf. But a Torah eats a tummy in the Anish Kars, it's only a warning. The Azar Tummy that eats a tar, it's not killing the Torah. Shall these creatures and words briefly catch my Tumas Aguf, but they're sure Rabbi Shloimy Greenwald achas the Kolel, achas a prat, v'echalam al korbanelo, shenem al Tumas Megalash Shavukdeshav. Whenever she sees the Bechol Tummy, Tumas Adamay, Beim Atmei, Bechol Sheket, Tummy, welcome, start the Bechashal Mashal, Hashem Nefersah, and Nefshahim Ma'amel. A person who touches anything unclean, whether uncleanness from a human or unclean animals, or an unclean abdominal creature, then eats the flesh of a peace offerings of Hashem, their soul shall be cut off from his people. There shall not any fat of an ox, sheep, or goat. The fat of a bale or fat of an animal, a disease or injury may be used for any work, but you shall not eat it. I should say, it's not we don't see Nisr Chal Isra, rather you're on both. Anyone who eats fats from an animal from any korban are brought by his fire to Hashem, the soul eats it shall be cut off from his people. And you shall not eat any blood in any of the dwelling places, whether from birds or animals. Since the Isra of eating it is an obligation relevant to a person rather than being dependent on land, selfless kedushin, excluded the blood of fish and locusts. Any person eats any blood, the soul shall be cut off from his people. Anyone who brings his peace offerings of Hashem shall bring the korban of Hashem from his peace offerings. Yud Lamed Yodov Tiviano Esisha Hashem Sachil Bachazir Yiveno Sachazir Lanifis Tulvan Hashem. His own hands shall bring the fire offerings of Hashem. The fat, the breast, he shall bring it. The breast to wave as a waving before Hashem. So Rashi Shtei Yada Bailam Mailo, which means that the owner's hand shall be above. Achil Bachazir the Susan above. Yatkem Mamat Munif. This is Hashem Mahin Ishim. What are the fire offerings? As Chilav Sachazir Tilva. When he brings it from the slaughtering area, he places the fat on the breast. When he gives it into the hand of the kohen who is to perform the waving, the breast is situated in the fat below. So, there's an obligation why is the breast for brought? If I say who may be the way that he brings it, but not that it should be part of the Ishim. Plus, the kohen shall cause the fat to go up in smoke on the mizbeach, and the breast shall belong to Aaron and his children. It teaches us that it may not be eaten while the sacrificial parts are still on the altar. He shall give the right thigh. It's an elevation offering for the kohen. From the peace offerings. Rashi shake menaperak ala ruba. And carries him Arisha Perak Amseshu Sevach Sharegel. First two from the aruba sold together with the head up into the middle joint. Anyone of the sons of Aaron who offers of the blood of the peace offerings and the fat, he shall have the right thigh as a portion. So Rashi Mishu Turo Lizrak Hector Chalovov, who is fit to perform his dashing of his blood and his burnt its fats. That's a Tmeim Shas Dikastam, Shas Hector Chalovim, Shenech excludes from receiving a share in the meat a kohen who was unclean at the time of dashing of the blood, or at the time of the burning of the fats. Amadal ki es chazet trufa v'shriga truma l'kachtim neis b'nei yisrael miziv chish al-meiyem v'etin neisim l'haron ha'kenu l'vanav v'chlechovelim neis b'nei yisrael, for I have taken the breast of the waving and the thigh of the elevation from the children of Israel from the peace offerings, and I have given them to Aaron and the kohen and his sons as an internal salute from the children of Israel. Rashi Medach maybe made them married. V'zeis mishchas Aaron mishchas. One of this is the grant for Aaron and Nadab and his sons. Visha Hashem, from the fire offerings of Hashem, Hikra Beisam, on the day that he brought them near the Chayin and Hashem to be cleaning them to Hashem. Asher Tziva Hashem Lasses Lam B'yem and Moshche Yisam Meis Ben Yisol, Kul Chazil and Yisam, which Hashem commanded to give on the day that he anointed them from the children of Israel. This is an eternal statute for their generation. This is the Allah for the burnt offerings, for the meal offerings, for the sin offerings, for the guilt offerings, and for the Luim and the Zevach Hashem. Zavash Yadayim Chenech Hakuna. Asher Tziva Hashem is Mishpiyad Sinai B'yed Mitzavos is Ben Yisrael Akav Karbanem Hashem Midbar Sinai. When Hashem commanded Moshe and on Har Sinai, and on the day he commanded the children of Israel to offer up the sacrifices to the Lord in the Sinai desert.